guys, and welcome on this new Coach Dev Academy lap guide. I'm Corentin Guinez. Today we are here for the last lap guide of the season already. The season was flying a lot, to be honest. So yeah, for this last lap guide, we're gonna use the 718 GT4 Porsche, and we are around the Red Bull Ring. So as usual, first I'm gonna go with the hot lap, and then we're gonna go together about the details about the combo. So yep, let's get started. Okay, guys, so here we go for the lap around the Red Bull Ring. And here comes T1. So basically, looking at the 100-meter board on the left side, just on the just close to the marshals on the left side. Just gonna drive on the curbing and also a bit more than the curbing. I think I have my left wheels on the green part of the track, actually on the left side. But yeah, as you can see, just running a bit more than just the curbing. So yeah, you can do that, but just make sure you don't be too greedy, because then there is a risk of getting the off track if you are a bit too greedy on the left side. So as you can see, just braking a tiny bit before the 100-meter board, just trying to not hit the ABS, and then I start to turn in, just making sure that I'm not turning in too early, because then I will have a big chance to run off the track on the exit. And then, as you can see, running quite a decent amount of curbing on the inside, just making sure that I can have the best angle possible on the exit, because if I avoid the curbing on the inside, like the yellow one, I will have the car a bit less bouncy, so maybe I'm gonna have a better traction, but at the end I'm gonna have to run a bit less. I will be able to carry a bit less speed, because I'm gonna have to put a bit more steering angle, and also because there is a chance that I go a bit wider on the exit if I don't take this curbing. But then, as you can see, the car doesn't bounce that much by taking the curbing, so it's pretty good. And also then I can carry more speed, and then I can carry the speed that I managed to get in T1 onto this long straight. So yeah, I think with the Porsche you can run the curbings, this curbing pretty good. Then we will see with the others, but yeah, with the Porsche at least it's very good on the curbing at T1, so you can really run this curbing and then carry a lot of speed, which will be very useful for the rest of the straight. So then, as you can see, just running a bit of sausage on the outside, just trying to not go too wide. So basically, if you can keep half of the car, the sausage in the middle of the car, it's fine. But yeah, the best is to really stay as close as you can with the left wheels on the sausage, and then you should get away without the off track. And then we just run this very long straight. So basically, nothing really important to know, except that you really have to push the revs really high on the potch. So for example, if you put fourth gear, you just have to wait until you reach 190, 92 or 93. But yeah, you really have to push the gears on the potch. Then just stay on the left side before entering the slowest one of the slowest corner of the track, and basically gonna do almost the same as T1, just same track limits, just 100-meter board, just a bit before. On the brakes, just trying to avoid the ABS, and then I'm gonna try to wait a little bit, try to wait the end of the curbing to start to turn in. Then just I'm staying on the brakes, and as soon as I'm getting close of the apex, just before the apex, going back on power to find the momentum on the exit, and just putting the power down, just opening the steering, so then I can get the curbing on the outside, and I will just show you the same but from the far chase camera. So as you can see on the brakes, just going back on power just before the apex, just not running the very inside of the track because sometimes it can get a bit inconsistent. And as you can see, opening the steering, going for the curbing but not going on the sausage. And I will show you once again from the cockpit. So on the brakes, as you can see, just releasing the brakes, turning in, going on power to find the momentum, and because it goes uphill, so you have to go a bit quickly on power. And then we move to the right side of the track for I think it should be the second slowest corner of the track. Going on the right and then going back to the left, and we'll do almost the same. T1, turn 2, and then, I mean, it's turn 2, I don't know if it's turn 2, the DR pin we saw before, but yeah, those three corners are pretty much the same track limits, same reference, just braking a bit before the 100-meter board. As you can see, keeping a margin, staying away from the 100% on the brakes to make sure I'm not hitting the ABS, but at the same time need to brake quite a lot to obviously slow down the car enough. Just trying to wait a little bit to turn in, just not turning it too early, because for example from now I could start maybe to turn in at the 50, but I'm just waiting a little longer to make sure that I have the best exit possible. So maybe I'm putting a bit more steering angle at the beginning of the corner on the entry, but then I can really open the steering on the exit. So as you can see, dropping to second, still on the brakes, releasing the brakes, going for the curbing on the inside, on the apex. Actually, it's pretty good to do that. Even if you miss it, it's fine, but you're gonna lose a bit of time. But yeah, if you can just use the curbing on the inside, it's gonna be the best because it can also gives you a bit of rotation out of that. So yeah, if you can use it, it's pretty good. So I'm gonna go back into the cockpit, and yeah, just as you can see on the brakes, as soon as I'm on the curbing, going back on power, you can go fairly strong on power when you are back on when you are on the curbing. So you can make sure that you, by doing that, you're gonna have a good traction, and also you have a good traction straight away on the power. And then for the exit, just make sure you don't run a bit of gravel, because if you touch them slightly, you're gonna get the off track, and you're gonna lose a lot of time actually, because now the gravel is really arch time wise. So yeah, just make sure you don't run on the gravel, and then you quickly have to move to the right side. And for the first S's, for the first long left of the S's, you're gonna have to look at the 50-meter board. So basically, just braking a bit before that and turning in as well at the same time. So as you can see, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 5 meters before, just on the brakes, turning in 50% on the brakes. Pretty much, it should be the amount of braking you are putting just before the entry. And then as you can see, just holding the brakes, keeping the brakes, just avoiding you can get the curbing on the inside. Actually, I think the first one can be pretty helpful actually. The only thing is that sometimes it makes the car a bit unstable and not really consistent about this curbing. So I think you can get it. If you can get it, it's cool because it gonna gives you a lot of rotation sometimes, but you have to make sure that you not spin the car with too much throttle. So you really have to manage, and also with the steering angle, you have to make sure that you have the right amount of steering angle, because if you have too much, then you can lose the rear. Same if you're on power and you go too heavily, you can have some TC and maybe you can spin. But at the same time, if you don't take the curb, it's also fine, because it seems like you don't lose that much time actually. So yeah, it's pretty much, if you miss it not on purpose, it's okay. You can still have a decent amount of speed without taking this curbing. But yeah, I think if you really nail this curbing, you can gain a bit of time, um, instead of using the non-curbing line. But yeah, it's pretty much up to you. This time I missed a bit the curbing, so I just, oh, sorry, I just tried to stay as close as I could from the curbing. But um, yeah, I think if you can use it, and you're sure of yourself by using it, and you really nail this curbing, with the practice, then you can use it. But this time, for example, I missed curbing, but it was fine, because actually I didn't lose that much time, so it was quite okay. And as you can see, need to go back on power really early to find the momentum and also the traction, because from now, if you go back on the brakes, you're gonna lose a lot of momentum, obviously, and you need to find the momentum. That's the thing in the SS. So, and also because you're gonna find more rotation on throttle now than if you use the brake. So as you can see on throttle, just trying to stay close to the curbing on the inside, and then I'm gonna try to use all of the track I can on the exit. So basically just using a decent amount of runoff on the exit. So the thing is that I think the track limit should be the left wheels and the red and white curbing. So if you go over the normal curbing, then you should get, I think, the off track. But yeah, I prefer still always keeping I prefer always to keep a bit of a margin on this one, because you are never really sure if you're gonna get it or not. So yeah, I just prefer to keep a bit of a margin with the left wheels. And then as soon as you leave this bit of runoff, I'm just gonna go on the brake. So as soon as I'm really leaving the green stuff and the curbing, just going on the brake, turning in, not braking too much, because I need to find the momentum and also find the rotation. This time I use the curbing. I think this one is also pretty good, but this one is also at the same time a bit more inconsistent compared to the one before. So it's the same. Be careful with the steering input. Be careful with the throttle and everything. Just make sure you can run it smoothly. It's the best thing you can do. But at the same time, it gives you a lot of rotation. So if you can make good usage from this, it's very nice. And then as you can see, just going on power fully when I'm off the curbing, just making sure I'm not running too wide. So it's the same. You can run quite a lot of curbing on the exit. And then moving to the left for the last two corners of the track. And for this one, I'm gonna use pretty much the same track limits as T1 and turn 2, 3, and the others. But this time I'm gonna break. Oh, sorry. Once again, the same mistake. My bad. Gonna go like this. Okay. Wait. It's not a good lap. Okay, this is the lap. Um. So yeah, basically, just breaking between the 100 and the 50. That's pretty much the where I'm breaking. So as you can see, just I think I'm closer to the 100, but yeah, I think when you are close to the middle, like when you are right there, it feels like you are just between the two. So as you can see, going on the brakes, dropping to third in the middle of the corner, just before the apex. And then as you can see, I'm still on the brakes, still trying to slow down the car, because if you don't slow down any of the car, it's really easy to, with the momentum, to get a lot of understeer. So you have to make sure that you brake enough for this one, and then make sure that you can run the curbing, and maybe even more actually on the inside. So as you can see, I think I'm running the green bit on the right side of the curbing. No, not really actually. But yeah, if you can do it, just make sure you can run through this thing as well, because it can gives you a even better angle for the exit and carry even more speed. And as you can see, when I'm on the apex, just going in power, just trying to make sure that I can carry all the speed on the exit. That's very important. But at the same time, just make sure that you're not going to island power, because then there is a chance that you go wide um, on the exit of this corner, and then you there is a chance that you get the slowdown or the off track if you run too wide. So basically, just make sure that you keep a bit of a margin. And then I'm gonna run as much track as I can on the outside just before entering the last corner. So as you can see, I think if you keep at least half of the car on the green area, it's okay. But just make sure you're not running more than that, because then you will get the off track. As you can see, more than the half of the track, the car is on the green, so it's okay like that. But yeah, just make sure you can do that all the time. And then as a braking reference for that, I'm just braking a tiny bit before the red, just a bit before the end of the red. I think it's the Austrian flag actually, which is on the left side. So yeah, I'm just braking a tiny bit before the red ends on the left side actually. So as you can see, just braking a bit before, not too heavy on the brakes because I want to avoid the ABS, and at the same time I need to keep some momentum. So yeah, that's why you should keep some you should keep some margin on the brakes and not brake completely, not brake too much and too late at the same time. And then on the brakes, just gonna turn in as soon as I'm basically leaving the red, and at the same time the bit of tarmac just after the red. So as you can see, crossing the two, then turning in, keeping a bit of braking until I'm reaching the apex, and just before the apex, going full on power to find all the traction and all the rotation at the same time. And it's the same for the exit. Just make sure that you don't run too wide. Actually, this time the track limit is a bit different, I think, because it's not half of the car, but I think it's tough to say what's the track limit for the last one. But yeah, I would say that to not do more than what I'm doing there, because I think then it's a slowdown on off track. So yeah, just make sure that you don't run too much of the outside. But yeah, and then you have that straight, which is the end of the lap around the Red Bull Ring with the 718 GT4. Alright guys, we're done for this season. I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a bit from it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and join the Discord server if you have any questions about the work we are making. And I see you the next season for the season 1. Bye bye.